It's the year of bezel-less smartphones, and now you can get one for as less as $100. The Leagoo KIICAA Mix is one of these cheap bezel-less options that's available in the market right now. And today we check out whether it's worth investing your $110 in this handset. The first thing you notice about the phone is that it's compact. And not just compact according to 5.5-inch standards. It's as small as a 5-inch smartphone. For example, let's compare the 5-inch Redmi 4A with the KIICAA Mix. As you can see, the phone is only as tall as the 4A. It does compensate the larger screen size with a few additional millimeters in width, but overall, it's one of the most compact 5.5 inches that you'll find in the market today. Given its $110 pricing, this is really a commendable feat. One-hand operation is going to be easy with its compact form factor and 157-gram weight. The overall design is pretty simple. Buttons on the right are tactile and responsive. The bottom features USB Type-C port and a speaker. On the left, you have the dual SIM hybrid slot. And on top, you have the earpiece. Yes, this brings us to one of the biggest design flaws in the KIICAA Mix. The earpiece, which traditionally lies on the front, is shifted to the top to make way for the bezel-less design. But this results in bad call quality. You can hardly hear what the other person is trying to say on the earpiece. And if you're outside in a noisy environment, you can't use this phone to make calls. Moving on, the front features a fingerprint embedded home button, and it's as good as other phones in this segment. It's actually a multi-purpose button that acts as a home button, back button, and a recent apps button. Apart from the earpiece, rest of the design is pretty solid. The display is kind of a surprise. Given its $110 price tag, what you would traditionally expect on this phone is an average screen with dull levels of saturation. That wasn't the case with the KIICAA Mix. The phone has a vibrant display, which is nearly bezel-less on 3 sides. It's a 1080p panel and the overall quality is better than the similarly priced Redmi Note 5A. The brightness levels are good and even outdoor visibility is satisfactory. Thanks to this 1080p panel, watching videos on the screen is a pleasure. The MediaTek MT6750T octa-core chip manages to handle everything with ease. The UI is snappy and apps open up pretty quickly. For some reason, YouTube took more time to load than the Snapdragon 425 powered 5A, but in most cases the KIICAA Mix was faster to open up applications. Games like Subway Surfer runs with ease. But what's really impressive is that even higher-end graphic games like Modern Combat 5 run well with minimal lag on the device. In comparison, the Redmi Note 5 struggled with the Modern Combat 5. In short, the performance of the $110 Leagoo KIICAA Mix is quite impressive for its price. Plus, you get ample 32GB of storage for all your videos and docs. Connectivity-wise, everything is good. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, GPS all have solid coverage. But the speakers are a letdown. The sound output is low and the quality is mediocre. Plus, there's no headphone jack and you have to live with the provided USB Type-C earphones, which suck. The sound comes out hollow and it's nowhere near to the good quality 3.5mm headphones that we are used to. The 3000 mAh battery is not very large, but it manages to power the device for a day. Moderate usage ranging from watching a few videos, playing a game, and browsing on 4G brought the battery down to 10% by the end of the day. But that's pretty decent. The phone also charges pretty quickly. It goes from 10% to 100% in less than 1.5 hours. I always tend to keep the camera at last for local Chinese phones, simply because they tend to suck. The Leagoo KIICAA Mix is no exception, with issues like slow focus, unusable portrait mode, and dull colors ruining the camera experience. That said, I could take a few decent shots a couple of times, but the results are never consistent. The front camera is decent for a few selfies. To sum up, the Leagoo KIICAA Mix is a fantastic phone with a couple of big flaws. I love the compact body, its vibrant display, and snappy performance. But things like bad call quality and no headphone jack thus ruin the experience. In many ways, the phone could have outdone the Redmi Note 5A, which is currently one of the best 5.5 inches in this price range. But it's the simple things like call quality and headphone jack that matter the most to a regular user. And if that's flawed, it's really hard to recommend this phone for everyday use.